Many fear dead as explosion rocks factory in Kaduna. Zamfara residents urge government to rebuild collapsed bridge after fatal bus crash. Waste pickers share struggles and prospects in Nigeria's recycling economy. On the foreign scene, Guinea-Bissau opposition leader returns from exile. Good evening, this is News Update on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us. Many are feared dead have lost their lives in an explosion that occurred at the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Deacon factory located in the Kokuri industrial area of Kaduna South local government area. The incident, which reportedly occurred at about 10 a.m. on Saturday, was said to have left many injured and one person dead at the time of filing this report. Although the management of Deacon has yet to release an official statement on the cause of the explosion, reports say the sound of the explosion shook communities located within Kaduna South and Chikun local government areas. Following the incident, the entire general area where the Deacon factory is located has been cordoned off by military personnel, while the victims have been rushed to nearby hospitals for urgent medical treatment. The Nigerian Air Force has killed more than 25 terrorists in a coordinated night air operation at Bula in Yobe and Banki axis of Borno states. This is contained in a statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, NAF, Air Commodore Ehime Ojodame, on Saturday in Abuja. Ojodame said the operations were conducted on September 18 following intelligence from ground troops. He said a force package of intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance ISR assets and strike aircraft tracked terrorist movements and identified multiple groups north of Banki. Ojodame said real-time updates were relayed to ground forces and base operations, enabling synchronized action, adding that the strike aircraft engaged the terrorists in 3 successive precision strikes on their movement routes and assembly areas, effectively neutralizing more than 25 fighters. Troops of 6th Brigade Nigerian Army Sector 3 Operation World Stroke have arrested a notorious suspected terrorist following credible and actionable intelligence in Wukari local government area of Taraba State. Acting swiftly on an intelligence report, the vigilant troops tracked and intercepted the suspect at Takum Junction, Wukari local government area of the state, where 35-year-old someone was apprehended. A statement by the Acting Assistant Director, 6th Brigade Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Umar Mohammed, said preliminary investigation revealed that the suspect hails from Atayenge community in Ukum local government area of Benue State and is allegedly a high-profile member of the notorious bandits gang led by the wanted criminal Akiki Utuvi, popularly known as Full Fire. Findings further indicated that the suspect infiltrated Wukari to monitor troop activities with the intent of facilitating coordinated attacks on innocent citizens. The arrest marks a major setback for the criminal gang and underscores the resolve of troops under Operation Lafia Nagowa to deny terrorists, bandits, and other criminal elements freedom of action in Taraba State and beyond. Away from security, fresh flooding has submerged farmlands in parts of Taraba State, destroying crops and worsening the plight of farmers who were still recovering from an earlier disaster. This latest flood comes just 2 weeks after a similar incident wiped out more than 2,500 farms across 6 local government areas in the state. The new wave of flooding has now destroyed additional rice and maize farms, deepening concerns about food insecurity and economic loss. Trust TV gathered that several farms previously spared during the first flood have now been submerged. Affected areas include Mayorenio, Bineri, Quantananido, amongst others. Additional damage was reported in Dindango, Bumbuli, and Tua. It was learned that the river Benue overflowed its banks again, flooding hundreds of hectares of farmland on both sides of the river. We go to Zamfara State, where residents of Fars Village are appealing to the government of the state to reconstruct the collapsed Gwali Bridge to ease movement in the areas and prevent a reoccurrence of last Saturday incident that claimed 19 lives. They made the appeal when the state deputy governor, Mani Mumuni, paid a condolence visit to the families of the 19 persons who died in an accident in which a Hummer bus plunged into the Gwali River. Here's more in this report.
This is Gwali Bridge that links Fast Village and other villages around the areas of Gummi town as well as other parts of Zamfara State. It also links people of Zamfara State to Jega local government area of Kebbi State in northwest Nigeria. According to the locals, the bridge collapsed over 6 years ago and has been claiming innocent lives. But last Saturday's incident, where a bus conveying wedding guests plunged in the river and claimed the lives of 19 persons, was quite disturbing and prompted a call by residents to government to reconstruct the collapsed Gwali Bridge.
The bus arrived and got trapped on the collapsed bridge. The driver then asked some of the passengers to come down in order to reduce the vehicle's weight. About 20 people disembarked from the ill-fated bus. As the driver attempted to maneuver the vehicle, it suddenly lifted and lost balance, plunging into the river along with the remaining passengers. We brought a boat and used ropes to help pull the bus out of the water. We have recovered 17 bodies so far, but 2 are still missing. We are appealing to the state government to urgently repair the bridge to prevent further accidents and loss of life.
The Emir of Gummi, retired Justice Lawal Hassan, appealed to the Zamfara state government to collaborate with the National Inland Waterways to get modern boats to forestall recurring of boat mishap.
I'd like to plead with His Excellency to please, on behalf of all riverine areas in Zamfara State, to plead with the National Inland Waterways Authority to give us modern boats, modern canoes. The wooden canoes that we use year in, year out are outdated and outmoded. We plead with His Excellency to please extend our request to the management of the National Inland Waterways.
Zamfara State Deputy Governor Mani Mumuni, who is chairing the State Assessment and Support for Victims of Banditry and Natural Disaster Committee, led his committee members to the Gummi local government area of the state to console families of the 19 wedding guests who died during the incident. Mumuni informed that the Governor Dawood Lawal's administration promised to reconstruct it when the rainy season is over, as a team of engineers had already gone to inspect it. The committee also paid a similar condolence visit to the families of victims of a boat mishap at Birnin Magaji village, where about 21 people lost their lives.
We are here in Gumi to condole with people of Gumi on the recent incident that happened last week, which led the death of almost 19 people in the riverside. We are here to tell people that the people of Gumi that the state government is touched. The state government were touched with the incident.
Deputy Governor announced a donation of 500,000 each to families of the 21 victims of the boat mishap at Birnin Magaji village, and also informed the people that the state government will deploy additional troops to protect them against the armed bandits.
Over in Kaduna State, despite rising insecurity in the southern part, the ever-bustling Yaralaraba women market continues to bloom, boosting the local economy of Malumfashi town, the headquarters of Malumfashi local government area. The market, which brings together traders from within and outside Kaduna State every Wednesday, is a source of pride and revenue generation to residents and local authorities. Trust TV's Abdullah Yamidi tells us more.
Laraba Women Market is occupying small space but serves as an efficient rendezvous for both local and visitors. The market differs from other conventional business hubs in northern Nigeria as it brings together traders, mostly women, who deals in traditional materials from Kaduna and neighboring states, craft materials, animal feeds, herbs, agricultural produce, women and men wears, food ingredients such as locust bean, finished products such as daddawa and baobab leaf powder used in preparing miyar kuka and potash are all available here. It is also a hub for calabashes, ginger, both fresh and dried pepper, fresh and dried okra, among many other items, which are common sights at El Laraba market. Prices here are lower compared to other markets, largely due to competing demands and supply. This vibrant market brings together items directly from the source. Many people come from cities to buy our items here. Our items are very cheap compared to other markets. Now, our major problem is insecurity. The moment it's 3 p.m., traders will be leaving the market, unlike before, when the market closes at night. Traders come here to buy things and go back to their local communities and resell, make profits, while others do come here without money. We give them goods, they sell and make a lot of profits and pay us back. We trust one another. Women traders are saying they patronize El Laraba market because of its considerable prices and economic viability.
I came here to buy some women wares. I like this market because it gives me what I always want, that is happiness. To me, there is no marketplace like El Laraba. It gives traders, especially women, some kind of joy.
Mariam, who is an internally displaced person, said the market has dramatically changed her life from a refugee to a full-time businesswoman.
I don't think I can talk because of my condition. I am an internally displaced person. I resorted to business out of necessity. My husband and parents have been killed by bandits. I now squat with my sister in another community. This business is everything to me, and I love this market. It gives me joy.
Despite being a source of revenue generation, El Laraba market lacks water and sanitation facilities as well as public conveniences. The traders are appealing for government's intervention to avert what they called contracting diseases that are caused as a result of poor sanitation. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Kaduna.
Over in Lagos State, the police command has announced the arrest of a key suspect in a string of exotic car vandalism incidents that have plagued the city's high-brow neighborhoods. The suspect, identified as Jude Onoha, is said to be the kingpin of the vandalism ring in the state. The 46-year-old suspect was apprehended by operatives of the Lagos State Police Command following a tip-off from a reliable source. According to the police, the suspect had been disguising himself as a security guard to gain access to properties where the exotic cars were parked. Once inside, he would vandalize the vehicles, making off with valuable parts and accessories. Deputy spokesman for the command, DSP Babasheyi Olusheyi, in a statement on Saturday, described Jude as the leader of a vicious and notorious criminal syndicate that specializes in disguising its security operatives in fake security outfit uniforms and using a Mercedes car jack modified to look like firearms to gain access into estates within Lagos metropolis. You're still on 2 News Updates on Trust TV. When we come from the break, waste pickers share struggles and prospects in Nigeria's recycling economy. Just stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. We told you that many affaired there. There's explosion rocked a factory in Kaduna State. Over in Zamfara, residents have urged the government to rebuild collapsed bridge after fatal bus crash. Now to more stories. Across Nigeria's major cities like Abuja, Lagos and beyond, scavengers are found everywhere. They mostly move from residential streets to commercial areas and dumping grounds. These scavengers are simply called waste pickers as they collect metals, plastic bottles, cartons, paper, electronic scraps and damaged appliances, among many other things. Victoria Tukulu's report is presented from our studio.
Known by names like Iron Condemn and more, this group of people roam the city of Lagos collecting plastic, iron and even electric waste that have been discarded. They end up selling these items to people and recycling companies. They also help reduce the number of waste on streets and dump sites. Scavenging is a source of livelihood for many people. However, concerns have been raised about the activities of scavengers across Lagos State.
Name my business na Sikraba de Pai. Kwandam something, Kwandam freezer, Kwandam gen, Kwandam everything at the buy. Na Kwandam at the buy. Mattress, everything at the buy. It get difference. In a big market, I go buy big money. In a small, they buy small money. It get different and a different now. You know, so we are the two types of the people that are doing this market. The one that's using shampoo, they are shaking it, is the one that buy iron, aluminium, condemned battery, condemned stabilizer, laboratory, condemned freezer. So and we sell. If person have money where you take ordinary sack without that shampoo, if you then call him, you can still buy it. I get person when you know they buy something, you go carry back, you go check the something for son. So me at the fine market, but I want to buy am. If that person where they find no get money, me when you work up for the money for your pocket, you go challenge me now.
Even paper, white paper, and nylon with cotton, we dey buy. But the thing one we dey do, if we see small thing can carry market, one sell am for us, we no go buy am. So the talent say make go front, because sometimes some people, some boys, then they picking something when you know no being get am, come sell am for people when they buy like that.
Scrap dealers said some bad elements may be involved in illegal activities. Majority of them are doing their business legally.
It may be bad business, but some Aboki and Igbo don't say our work is a criminal business, maybe criminal business. The problem why they say criminal business, some Aboki, the problem is language. For them, if you go outside, anything is said outside that is condemned. The Fikariam.
We are buying this scrap, small. We are buying 1 kilo, 5 kilo. Some at times we are buying 200 kilo, 300 kilo. So they used to help government to, because all this is like waste. You understand? So it's a waste. When our boys then they go for water, go and pick the scrap.
These individuals are said to be playing vital roles in the economy by providing recycling companies with waste to recycle, thereby reducing refuge dumps in the process.
The Kano Operations Office of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has received 148 Nigerian migrant returnees from Sudan as part of ongoing efforts to facilitate the safe return of Nigerians abroad. According to a statement released on Saturday by NEMA, the returnees arrived at Aminu Kano International Airport aboard a chartered flight operated by Turco Aviation on Friday. They included 25 men, 27 women, 39 male children and 57 female children. The statement by NEMA explained that upon arrival, the returnees were profiled and documented by relevant stakeholders, but were not enrolled in any reintegration program. The return of these migrants comes amid ongoing conflict in Sudan, which has displaced millions and strained the country's infrastructure. In business, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has vowed to apply necessary sanctions against Qatar Airways for allegedly mistreating Nigerian passengers. The NCAA's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Michael Achimogo, revealed this in a statement via his official X account on Friday. According to the TERS statement, Achimugu noted that the airline had failed to comply with consumer protection regulations under Part 19 of the NCAA Regulations 2023. Achimugu narrated a recent incident involving a Nigerian passenger accused by Qatar Airways cabin crew member of sexual harassment during boarding in Lagos for a flight to the United States via Doha. He said the airline failed to report the allegation in Nigeria before taking it to Doha, where the passenger was arrested, detained for 18 hours, fined and compelled to sign a document written solely in Arabic. Qatar Airways allegedly refused to continue the passenger's journey, forcing him to purchase another ticket at considerable financial and reputational cost. The regulator threatened penalties against the airline for repeatedly disregarding its directives. Away from Nigeria, Guinea-Bissau's opposition leader on Friday returned from exile to submit his candidacy for the country's presidential election later this year. Domingos Simios Pereira, a former prime minister and leader of the Pajic party that led the former Portuguese colony to independence, has spent 9 months out of the country because of a perceived threat to his life and legal issues. He arrived in the capital on Friday night with a significant security presence deployed around the airport. Some supporters braved heavy rain to welcome him, but he left without commenting to waiting reporters. Last Sunday, he told supporters in Portugal that he was returning to lead a democratic fight. He announced on social media that he intends to run for the presidency on November 23rd and wanted to meet the September 26th deadline to submit his application. Finally, in sports, triple Olympic heptathlon champion Nafisa Otuthiam on Saturday dropped out of the event after 5 of the 7 disciplines at the World Championships in Tokyo. Her representative Helena van der Plesten confirmed she will not carry on, and her coach Michael van der Plesten later told Belgian media it makes no sense for her to continue. 31-year-old Thiam was aiming to break Carolina Kloft's European heptathlon record of 7,032 points in Tokyo, but almost nothing went to plan. And after 4 events, she was only in 6th place, notably after a poor 200 meters. On Saturday morning, she dropped another 2 places in the rankings after a disappointing long jump, in which she was 11th with 5.99 meters. Thiam, who has won gold at the last 3 Olympics, has been at loggerheads with the Belgian Athletics Federation because she has refused to sign a code of conduct imposed by the federation about her image rights. Thiam claimed as a result, the federation had failed to reserve a bedroom for her in the pre-World Championships training camp, and that it had refused to accredit her physiotherapist. That concludes news updates at this time. For more of our news programs, documentary, what follows on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time. Good evening.